You ever walk into a room and feel the energy drop, like everybody already decided who you were before you even open your mouth? Yeah, that was me, Zariah Benton, pushing through the courthouse doors at 8:57 a.m., sneakers squeaking on that shiny floor. Every eye on me like, who let the kid in? Not a single person in that room thought I belonged. Bailiff gave me a half smile. Judge barely looked up. And the cop at the stand, Officer Kilroy, he just leaned back, arms folded, looking like he was waiting on his coffee, not a cross-examination. Here's the part they didn't see coming. I was exactly 3 minutes early. Not by accident, on purpose. Just enough time to walk in without rushing, to let him wonder, to take up space. Black Converse, second-hand slacks, faded navy blazer, sleeves rolled, hair in box braids pulled back, no makeup, no earrings, not trying to look older than my 19 years. Just me and a beat-up binder, no laptop, no leather briefcase. Nobody in there knew my name yet. The court came to order. Judge Lennox, old school, gray beard, and that tired, don't waste my time look. I sat at the defense table and flipped open my binder to a tab labeled Kilroy Cross. The other lawyer glanced at me, confused. Ma'am, this table's for counsel. I didn't look up, just said, I am counsel. He blinked, stuttered, wait, you're handling the cross? All calm, I nodded, yes. The gallery chuckled. Kilroy smirked, stage whispered, what is this? Debate club. Loud enough for half the room. Some folks snickered. I just clicked my pen and waited. Judge cleared his throat. Let's proceed. Everybody else still thinking this was a prank, some TikTok stunt. But I stood up, voice steady, didn't drop it low, didn't try to sound old. Your Honor, defense is ready for cross-examination. Kilroy sat up a little, maybe thinking, hold up, maybe she's got something. Maybe. I walked to the stand like I'd done it 100 times, though honestly, it was my third. Officer Kilroy, how long on the force? 23 years, he said, all confidence. So you know protocol during a routine stop? Obviously. I nodded. Let's walk through the one involving my client, April 6th. Courtroom perked up. Kilroy rolled his neck, getting loose like he was about to run laps. You mean the guy who ran the stop sign and got mouthy? That's the one. I looked him right in the eye. Did you have your body cam on? Course. Footage submitted to the file? Yeah. I turned to Judge Lennox, Your Honor. I'll be referencing the officer's body cam in my questioning. He gave a slow nod. Kilroy shrugged, like he was still waiting for the punchline. But the way I flipped my next page, you could feel the room shift. Phones went away. Even the co-counsel leaned back, like, wait, maybe I should pay attention. I asked, Officer Kilroy, you wrote the driver failed to stop at the sign at Parker and Bunker Hill, right? Right. You said you were facing east on Parker. Yep. Intersection clear, no obstructions, broad daylight? Correct. I held up a still from the body cam, time-stamped. Here's your car facing east, 2 SUVs blocking the stop sign on Bunker Hill. Can you confirm? Kilroy hesitated. Yeah, maybe there were 2 cars, not maybe. There were. Could you clearly see my client come to a full stop? He stalled. I judged it best I could. Not what I asked. Could you clearly see it? Not completely. No. I looked at the judge. Noted. Next, on the body cam audio, you said, he's twitchy. Probably high. Did you conduct a sobriety test? No. Request a drug screening? No. So what made you think he was high? He was fidgeting, looking around. Did he ever raise his voice, threaten you, refuse ID? No. I let it hang. So, you stopped, searched, and cited him based on a feeling. The gallery got real quiet. Then I hit him with, you said you saw a bag under the passenger seat and suspected contraband. Did you point a flashlight, crouch down? I saw something dark. A shadow. I assumed it was a bag. But you wrote you observed a bag. He swallowed. Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe you were. The prosecutor tried to cut in, but nobody was listening to him. I turned back. Officer Kilroy, in 23 years, ever been formally disciplined? The air went stiff. He stalled. Yes, once, 10 years ago. For what? Excessive force complaint. Dropped. I nodded, the room watching, waiting. And here's where it broke wide open. I read from the police manual, all stops based on behavior must be clearly articulated and supported by specific actions. Feelings aren't grounds for a search. You wrote my client was fidgeting, glancing around. None of those are crimes, right? No. No weapon, contraband, or direct threat? No. Yet on the footage, you said, he fits the type. Always act the same way when they've got something to hide. The silence was sharp. What did you mean? Guys get nervous during stops. You sure that's all you meant? He said nothing. Let's talk about a stop from 6 months ago. Same phrasing in your report. Another young black man. Similar neighborhood, twitchy, glanced around. Looked like he had something to hide. Detained him. Yes. Anything illegal found? No. Complaint filed? Yes. Dropped? No. I held up 2 reports. You repeat descriptions, even when there's no crime? Maybe I rely on pattern recognition, he muttered. That's not what your department calls it. He raised his voice. Sometimes you get a feel. We've covered this. Policy doesn't accept feelings as probable cause. I turned to Judge Lennox, Your Honor. The stop lacked legal grounds. The officer misrepresented his view, used subjective language, didn't follow protocol. This isn't about years on the job. It's about accountability. Judge nodded, still stone-faced. I sat. Nobody clapped. Kilroy wasn't smirking. He stared at the floor, jaw tight, right knee bouncing. The room knew it wasn't just about one guy and a traffic stop anymore. But I wasn't done. I stayed seated, flipping a page in my binder. One question, Officer Kilroy, did you know my client is a high school math teacher at Booker Middle? He blinked. No. Did you ask him where he was coming from? No. So, to be clear, you based your stop, your search, your citation on a rolling stop you didn't see, a bag you didn't identify, and a twitch you assumed meant he was hiding something. All without asking him a single question about who he was or where he was going. That's not exactly, but it is. I laid it out plain. You saw a young black man in a hoodie, driving a Camry, and you decided the story for him. You didn't ask. You didn't wonder. You just thought, he fits the type. That was all you needed. I looked at the judge. I'm not asking for pity. I'm asking for truth. This isn't about a stop sign. It's about assumptions. Lazy, harmful ones. Judge said nothing, but the silence in that room was louder than any speech. I stood, faced the gallery. This whole place runs on rules and evidence, right? So how can a man in uniform toss all that for a feeling and expect us not to notice? No answer. I turned to Kilroy. What scares me is how confident you were that no one would ever call you on it. Judge cleared his throat. Miss Benton, you've made your point. I nodded. No further questions. Kilroy just gripped the stand, pale. My co-counsel leaned over and whispered, that was lethal. I didn't smile. It was overdue. The prosecutor tried to redirect. Nothing stuck. Judge just waved it off. Moved to closing arguments. But really, the damage was done. I stood for closing, sipped some water, locked eyes with the jury. When you watched that footage, you didn't see a threat. You saw a teacher driving home. No search warrant. No probable cause. Just a feeling. I let it sit. Feelings aren't evidence. Feelings don't let you rewrite facts. I walked back to my table. My client was profiled, humiliated, and cited because someone didn't bother to ask who he was before deciding what he was. If we weren't here, if there wasn't footage, this would be another closed file, another fine, no questions. The prosecutor mumbled something about procedure, but nobody cared. Devin, my client, whispered, you think we've got a shot? I met his eyes. They heard you. That's more than most people get. The jury took 70 minutes. Not guilty of all charges. That wave, relief, shock, a little anger, rolled through the room. Kilroy didn't move, just stared at the wall. Charges dismissed. Court adjourned. Devin shook my hand, then just stood there, dazed. Thank you. I thought this would bury me. I finally smiled. You're standing. That means they lost. No victory dance, just a quiet breath and my binder, packed away. People whispered as I walked out. No jokes, not anymore. Not even from Kilroy, standing in the back, hands on his hips, watching like he wasn't sure if he should be mad or relieved. Out in the sun, a couple reporters tried for a quote. How does it feel to win at your age? I didn't stop walking. I'm not here to feel good. I'm here to make things right. What I didn't know, yet, was that someone had recorded my closing, and by sunset, the whole country knew my name. On Twitter, the clip hit 280,000 views. She's 19. He's been a cop 23 years. Guess who came prepared? The replies were wild. Never seen someone undress a case like that without raising her voice. She should run for DA. Later, at a cafe, Devin sat across from me, coffee untouched, hands shaking. I thought they'd spin it. I've never seen anyone handle cops like that. I stirred my tea. It's not about handling. It's about using their own words. He laughed, more relief than humor. You've done this before? Only twice in person. Rest was Zoom. My phone buzzed, trending in Texas. Clips everywhere. I silenced it. I don't care about viral, I said. I care about what happens next. What has happened next? He asked. Nothing. That's the problem. The officer goes back to work. The department calls it a misunderstanding. People move on until the next one. So why keep doing it? Because every time I win one, it gets harder for the next cop to lie and easier for the next person to fight back. By morning, the department put out a statement. We take concerns seriously. Formal review pending. I read it in my bedroom, shook my head, cut and paste. My mom peeked in. You're all over the news. Aunt Rel's group chat is going wild. I laughed. Weird day. Want dinner? Maybe later. Alone, I opened my binder. New page, future cases, what we missed today. But something had shifted. Not just in court, but in the eyes of everyone who doubted if I belonged. Monday, courthouse bust. People came to see the girl who wiped the floor with a 23-year cop, except I wasn't there. I was at my apartment, eating cereal out of a mug, reading notes. My inbox blew up. Reporters, clients, girls saying I gave them hope. One email from a mom. My daughter wants to be a lawyer now. She watched your closing 5 times. I sat with that. It wasn't about praise. It was about seeing someone do what you thought you couldn't. I replied to one reporter. It doesn't feel like a win until the system stops giving officers like Kilroy the benefit of the doubt and starts giving people like Devin the benefit of the truth. Hit send. Across town, Kilroy was put on leave. No press, no applause, just a quiet exit. Meanwhile, I led a workshop for high schoolers. You'll walk into rooms where they think you don't belong. Don't waste time proving them wrong. Prove yourself right. One girl asked, how do you stay calm when they laugh? Because they laugh when they feel safe. I don't give them that. Someone whispered, that's cold. I grinned, that's justice. It just dresses different. That night, back at my window, looking out at the campus lights, I thought, I never wanted fame. I just want things to change. If people keep watching, fine, give them something real to watch. No theatrics, no sound bites. Just truth. Never underestimate the person in the room with something to prove and nothing to lose. Sometimes the people who laugh are just scared of what you already know. You don't need to shout. Just show up prepared and let the truth do the rest. If this story hit you, say something. Share it. Speak it. Challenge what's normal, because silence never changed anything. But courage, backed by knowledge, that's where justice actually starts.